I just wanted to make sure we cover that. It is bank holiday, so no real pre-market prep here today, but I wanted to speak a little bit about a few Edgeful reports that we can maybe go over, where markets are sitting at the moment, and just have a little bit of a chat. So let's go over some DAX. You guys know I love trading the DAX, probably my most traded instrument other than the Nasdaq and S&P. But indexes, world market indexes are moving down lower overnight. If we just come here to the Dow moving lower, so as the Nasdaq and S&P as well. We actually had some nice longs on the open here across all of the indexes. The guys were crushing it on the Edgeful algos with that orb breakout report. But as you can see, markets are closed this morning. There's no pre-market movement simply because of a USD bank holiday. Then things will pick up again tomorrow, as mentioned. But world markets were moving down, as I said, overnight. So the indexes are still open, but no actual stock market trading will be taking place. But let's go over a few Edgeful reports that we can maybe go over. And that orb report is one that the guys are crushing using the algos. And you can come over here to the algos page and check them out again, as usual, on the Edgeful website. But if you just go over that orb report over here, so let's go over it like this. Let's just go over it on NQ. Okay. And let's do it like this. And you can actually see that really neat, really neat orb report on this in terms of the double breaks haven't been happening too often. So that, with that being said, we can look to trade in one direction of that. So let's go NQ and let's just go last month. More like 50-50 on the double breaks, but the by levels is something that I really like. If you go like this, by levels, okay. And this is the one that really is neat. If we break the high sides, almost 70% of the time, we probability-wise, we actually reach 0.5 R of that orb. So what does that actually mean? So let's actually go like this, and let's bring up the Nasdaq over here. Okay, and let's go like this. Okay, let's actually get like this. So let's bring up the Nasdaq here. And what we can actually see from this is that yesterday the orb open was 70 points, call it 70. Let's just call it 70 points. So that means that once we take out the highs, we got a 70% chance that this will go 0.5 R of that orb. So that would be 35 points. So once you take the longs, you can put your entry here, stop at the lows, and you can target 0.5 R of that orb. And a lot of the guys have been crushing at doing that. I do find that it is quite a simple report to use as well. But there are a few others. Like I've always mentioned on stream, this opening candle continuation report. So if that first hour is bullish, we want to trade in the direction of that first hour. Of course, we had Fed yesterday, so there's a lot of choppiness after market close here. But you can use this across any reports, even on some currencies. And so forth, right? So some currencies that you can look to trade that on as well. I know some guys like trading pound dollar, euro dollar on it, which is what I used to trade quite often. And you can still apply these same reports across all of the markets that you would like to trade. But yeah, we can actually see, actually getting some nice movement here on some of those. Some of these currency pairs yesterday as well. So anyway, let's go back to what I was speaking about. So the DAX was trading at all-time highs, okay? And something interesting to just have a look at is, look at this. We were trading at all-time highs on the DAX. We have actually now had quite a nice pullback back to that daily 50 EMA, which we're currently sitting down 5.5%. But quite crazy after this Trump tariffs talk here, we have moved back from the lows to the DAX. We created like a 30% move off those lows. But I think a nice healthy pullback here before maybe looking for some longs and extension. If you look at the ES chart, S&P 500 chart, we can see this as well. Okay, so we can see that we have actually kind of rebounded from those tariff lows. And we have been chopping in pretty tight range, I must say, like literally within like a 5% range for quite often since the middle of May. And now we're almost, middle of June. So for a month in a bit, we've been actually trading in quite a tight range. And sometimes picking your spots, follow through trades have not been working too well. That's something that I've been spotting my own trading, is that like looking to just snag and bag the wins and take them when they do come. But something also, another one that I think is quite useful in terms of looking for moves later on in the week is this opening week range report. And again, guys, I basically trade the orb with the like the opening candle continuation and the RB. I don't really like to look at too many reports. It's simply because I don't want to overcomplicate anything, right? So personally, for me, with using the Edgeful reports, I don't like to overcomplicate anything, and I keep my trading very, very simple. Okay. Yeah, Jordy, good to have you on, bro. We'll get on that call. Yeah, I'm literally, for those that don't know, I'm actually getting on a flight. Literally in the next 40 minutes, we're leaving for the airport. So, yeah. So in terms of that, this opening week range, this kind of works similar to the RB, and the RB is literally, again, from that first hour. Let's see what the NASDAQ and ES has been doing in the last month. Let's just have a look at more. Double breaks have been happening quite a lot more, I must say. That is ES, NQ. 43% of the time we actually double break. So the first hour sets a high and low. And then double breaks have been happening a lot more, because about 6 months ago, they were only happening about like 24% of the time, you can see. So that's basically doubled, and almost 50-50 in terms of the double break stats on that. But what I do with Edgeful is I use basically 3 reports, 2 to 3 reports: the all report, opening candle continuation, RB, and I basically just play that. And then for the guys that trade, kind of, they want to get alerts and everything for the trading, the algos do offer that as well. But let's speak a little bit again, go back to what I trade mainly. And for the guys that are watching from London session time zones, or at least, I'm in South Africa, obviously. But I think the DAX is a great asset to trade. And if you haven't had a look at it, I definitely would recommend it. We've had some nice sell-offs here in the London session more recently on the DAX, and some nice easy pickings. And that's put me up on some of my instant funded accounts that I'm trading quite nicely with Top One and Hydra funding. So I'm going to continue pressing into the instant accounts. I think they're working a lot better for me than the two-step, going through the whole two-step phase as well. So yeah, okay, forex, please, James. Okay, we can go over some currency pairs for sure. What do you want to go over? Pound dollar. Can go over pound dollar and have a little bit of a chat about this. I'm not too plugged into the currency markets as much anymore. As I said, I'm mainly trading the DAX, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, pound dollar, obviously, interesting enough, since the start of the year, we've literally just been moving higher on the on this, right? Literally, we up 7% on GU from these lows, kind of like over here. So as I said, I'm not really too plugged into the currency market side of things, my side at least. But definitely dollar index has been taking a little bit of a beating. So that is actually very, very interesting to see. I mean, literally from here, we're up 1,000 points, 1,000 pips, points, call it whatever you want, back to where we're sitting over here now on pound dollar. So very, very interesting to see that. Same as you. The only really, currency that I will watch are the yen quote pairs, because I think that even from my side, when the yen moves, it even opens up stocks and creates a lot of volatility as well. It just is a weird phenomenon how that is. So yeah, Jordy, why would you say the instant work better than the two-step? Allows you to go straight to your usual model instead of having to change? Yeah, exactly that. So the instant models, and I don't know why I've put them off for so long, but basically the reason being is because you will pay a little bit more for the instant models, but basically, I mean, you're literally going straight to trading like you would a personal account, which has been a lot better for me in terms of like psychology wise. You don't have to try and trade super aggressively to get it past. And simply this is that you can actually be a profitable trader, but not take any payouts simply by, let me give you an example. Let's say you take an FTMO challenge, you pass phase 1, you pass phase 2, you've made 15%, but you haven't made 1 cent. And then you fail the funded account. You got no payouts, but you actually technically net positive 5%. You pass phase 1, 10%, you pass phase 2, 5%, and then you lost 10%. So you net positive 5%. On a personal account, you'd be up 5%, but you would have got no payout from prop firms. Whereas the instant accounts, the ones that I'm trading with Top One and Hydra, you can make anywhere from 2% plus and take payouts, and you're making money. So it just is a lot more realistic, in my opinion. Yeah, there's the consistency scores and trading drawdown, but it's you can get payouts a lot more by trading a lot more normally than trying to Hail Mary on 2 steps sometimes. So this is my own opinion. I'm good, bro. Just sometimes busy with the baby. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep it here. As I said, I'm not gonna be trading today. I'm actually heading off in the next hour or so. Have a good one. Hope to see you more on the live streams, and we'll see you the rest of the week once I land, and next week while I'm in Europe.